Evernote has got a update, and today we're going to go over what it means for the future of Evernote and give you an insight into some of the key takeaways from this announcement. So obviously, one of the things that I've been following here on Keep Productive is Evernote and of course the Bending Spoons acquisition, and they've been in charge for apparently 7 months now, which is pretty mental. And of course there's been quite a rocky ride. There's been pricing changes, layoffs, and there's been some definite stability issues with Evernote. Well, this post is meant to address that and really try and rally users around the stability of Evernote. So of course, I've made some notes myself. I've got the post here, but I'm going to be talking about this with some of my own opinion. So of course, take it with a pinch of salt, but of course, I'll read out some of the key takeaways from this video. So Evernote obviously have had large significant changes, and one of the core things that they want to address is the stability issues, which is actually one of the most important points, speed and synchronization. But before they do that, they wanted to say that Evernote was acquired to be a long-term profit maker for them, obviously a long-term success, not short-term goals. And they clearly state as well, saying that it's not as a way to make a quick buck. To be honest, I don't know who would have thought that it was going to be making a quick buck. I don't think they could make a quick buck by just like upping the pricing and doing that for a year. I don't think you could make a genuine huge amount of money from that. I think you would probably annoy more people than ever. And that's why I think that this company is definitely a lot better in the longer term. Bending Spoons has actually got quite a lot of investment, quite a lot of credibility, and I don't think they're meant to make a quick buck. So I think reiterating that was probably helpful for a lot of people, but obviously pretty much a giveaway, I think, for what they're trying to do and what their company is working on. They've also had credibility in, I believe they bought Splice from GoPro a couple of years ago and reinvigorated it. So I can think that this sort of thing is what they try and do, is try and bring back quality brands and quality applications. So what they want to do is revitalize Evernote and ensure its future growth. And obviously, one of the things they stated here was the focus on making Evernote your secure and reliable second brain. I could see Tiago going, yes, they've continued rubbing it on. Obviously mentioning about the second brain concept, he's probably like, yes, Evernote's going to carry this on. But of course, it's something that's quite core to what Evernote was started on. Like the fact that they have the second brain mentioned there is probably something that relates to a lot of users. And at the moment, their priority is reinforcing Evernote fundamentals and staying true to the original vision. So they start off by talking about speed and synchronization. And they were saying that new sync process that came in, which synchronized real-time editing, and the general note was launched in May 2023. And to be honest, I constantly had problems with Evernote users with stability, like probably for about 2 or 3 months. My inbox was like, Francesco, you need to contact Evernote because they have this many issues, synchronization's not working, so basics, I can't even load an experience. And I think during that period of time, I opened up Evernote every single week just to see what the experience was like for me as somebody who reviews productivity apps. And I think on about 60% of occasions, the stability was not great. And that was both on mobile and desktop. And I think what they want to do is quite rapidly address this. And they've said here they're aiming for faster note synchronization and conflict-free simultaneous editing. But they've also stated that what they want to do is have that on multiple devices. But they said that they're happy to share that the rollout of this important new structure and system is complete. And I've noticed from opening Evernote, I haven't had many, I would say I haven't noticed an issue in the last couple of weeks. And I've also had messages from people saying these fixes that they're doing, these patches that they've had sent through, have solved the issues for a lot of people. So that's good news. And apparently the new data structure is something called conflict-free replication data types, CRDT, supported by JS implementation. I have no idea what this means. I could probably ask Carl, who works with us on Toolfinder, but to be honest, it's way past my grade of learning. But at the same time, it seems like what they're trying to do is make this a lot easier. They're saying the transition obviously had the challenges, but now they want to lead to a smoother user experience. So moving on, they've also talked about speed adjustments. The new synchronization apparently initially caused some users to experience note loading issues. So this is a speed adjustment, and the system note processing caused abnormal generation of extensive histories in certain cases, and 3 performance-related bugs identified and fixed in June and July. So that's good. And they said here almost immediately we saw the return of healthy note loading on affected accounts. So that's great news. So they're stating here, make sure you got the latest version of Evernote to really understand whether it's made the difference. Now, they've also talked about navigation changes. These are under the hood changes. I like how much detail they're giving in the background about this, because I guess for those who are interested, it really gives them perspective about how difficult it actually is. I feel like in the past, when Evernote did that huge thing, when Ian Small initially announced they were doing like a complete overhaul of the underground systems, that was like, yeah, that was useful. But then it was like, okay, what does it mean? So this actually is a nice breakdown, to be honest. Apparently this includes the complete rewrite of the Evernote desktop application web navigation system. Mobile navigation updated too, and apparently they've got new URLs updated too. You can see them here, and apparently it's not just a small cosmetic change, unlocks the ability to expand the navigation system as the product evolves in the future, which is an interesting statement. I don't know what that means, but could mean more features. I don't know. And apparently they've also done monolith migration. They've gone from an old Java Enterprise Edition application that managed most of Evernote's backend, and they cleaned the code base to address technical debt. You're probably all switched off from this, because I definitely, when I was reading this, I was like, oh. Apparently that's all helping the sort of core experience of the Evernote experience. But let's go to future plans for Evernote. Apparently, after focusing on rectifying bugs, they want to improve that for smoother experience across all platforms. They aim to enhance the reliability of task syncing and boost speed in the Evernote client. So it's all about speed and function and smoothness. And they say as well, the core features are the focus. Innovation is not sidelined. That's really good news, because I feel like Evernote need that more than ever now. They need like 50% stability, 50% reaching out to the stars. Next, they talk about the testing of the AI-powered search. It's already began with positive feedback, and a lot of Evernote experts and employees have dove into it. I'm not one of them, sadly. I would like to be, but do they like me anymore? Let's see. No, they do like me. They do reply to my emails more than the last Evernote company, which is good. A solid foundation is being laid for more expansive plans in the future. But it's really interesting to see that this AI-powered search is actually people having the feedback is enthusiastic and encouraging. So this is good news. Evernote have taken the opportunity, Bending Spoon's taken the opportunity to look at what they found with their core, and they are addressing it instantly, which is great. They're talking about what the problems are, and it's good that they're being so technical with it, because I think it helps to understand it a little bit more. I mean, some of the stuff there, right past my head, but the majority of it seems pretty decent in terms of its update. So good news for Evernote, stability changes are on the way, and hopefully this gives you a better outline of everything you need to know about Evernote as the progressive conversation continues. Stability seems to be getting better, so let's see what Evernote's got in the next chapter. If you're new here, subscribe. It's been great talking to you, and if you're in the hunt for productivity tools, go to Toolfinder. Thank you very much, folks, and I'll see you all very soon. Cheerio.